It's another day, another dollar, new month, October 5th, 2018. Straight Talk Podcast with Fella and Rev. How's everybody doing today? Mr. Rev, bro, how are you doing today?
I am doing well. My bad. I having some issues, some complications. I'm doing well, man.
You good? You good? You good? You good? What's going on? What's going on with you today, October 5th?
Hey, your boy got paid today.
Hey, payday.
First of all, that's the biggest part. Second of all, my food is here, so that's another great.
Hey,
Um,
working dinner tonight.
you said what we got for dinner tonight?
No, I said it's a working dinner tonight.
It's a working dinner. Yeah, yeah. This was also my first week of getting paid with that raise, so
Hey, how that raise treating you? How that money look? How that check look? How that new check
hey,
look?
it's gonna be lovely.
All right. We also have ourselves a special guest this week. Coming back to Straight Talk with Fella and Red, we have our boy, Adrian. AP, how you doing today, AP?
I'm good. Truly blessed.
Hey, truly blessed and highly favored. What's going on with you? How was your week?
That's right. Oh man, it was a cool week. Didn't do too much. Just uh, taking care of business after last week. Last week was busy for me, so this one was more chill, more relaxed.
Hey, that's what's up. We got a fun show planned for you guys. Hopefully, you guys enjoy it. Sending out a couple links. They get the show on the road. So we got a debate. We got a debate for later in the show. So if you're around now, please try to stick around till later in the show. You really don't want to miss this debate. It's gonna be fun. We haven't done one of these in a while. So stick around. Jaden, what's up, Jaden? Bro trying to take me to the mall. No. How you gonna take you to the mall in the middle of the podcast? Come on, Jaden. Come on.
Why would I be taking you to the mall? Where's your mother?
In the words of where is your mom? And then in the words of a great band director way back in the day, that was a freshman question. And we're gonna take the show on the road.
Yeah.
Let's see. Talk about Melo now. It's the preseason.
I'll do him a quick solid since that's his boy. Melo looked decent so far. He actually plays the way that we wanted him to play last year. He can catch and shoot. So congratulations. We'll see how we feel about it in April.
Preseason.
Moving on.
It's October.
Exactly.
Please let's refrain from any judgments too soon.
That's why I said we'll see how we feel it.
You cut out, but okay, we're gonna move on. So of course, none other than question of the day. And this is the segment where we ask each other a question, grade each other upon that answer, and just don't get offended. You know the deal. Don't get offended about the grade that you receive. And you will be straight. Also, if y'all want to give a grade in the chat, go ahead, do that. Any comment is appreciated very much. So I'm gonna start it off. This is kind of a softie. Both of you guys are welcome to answer. Got the Major League Baseball, got the playoffs going on, and the Boston Red Sox, are currently beating the Yankees by a lot. I haven't checked the score. Last time I checked. Oh yeah, they're winning by 5-0. And the Red Sox are also heavily favored to win the entire World Series. They have the best record in the regular season, won 105 plus games, whatever. So my question to you guys is, when was the last year that they won the World Series, and who did they beat?
When the last year the Red Sox won the series?
Yeah, won the World Series.
That wasn't that long ago.
You can do it. What up, Gary? How you doing today, family?
The problem is who they beat. I can't remember who, but I know it wasn't long ago.
You really don't remember who they beat?
Appreciate you coming through, Gary.
No, wait.
Can I submit my answer? He's taking too long.
Nah, cause
Yeah.
you gonna submit it. He gonna get it.
Nah, I remember who they beat now. That's probably why it's a bitter topic of discussion. It was in the last 5 years though, because it wasn't that long ago. We was in high school, so it had to be like 13 or 14. No, it wasn't our senior year. So 12 or 13. 13. It was us. I remember that because that was when we weren't trash. But I would say 13.
Hey, was that the answer
There you
you was
go.
gonna give, AP?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I remember watching that series.
Yeah, I do too. Colton Wong. Oh boy.
It took a minute, and then the way AP said it, I was like, "Oh wait, that was that year."
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You don't remember who beat?
Yeah, we'll see if they'll win this year. I don't know. It's gonna be this playoffs. I haven't been really interested in baseball playoffs. If the Cardinals aren't involved in it, like ever.
So you ain't been in playoffs in the last 3 years, then?
Yeah.
Tweaking.
Yeah. But this year I'm actually kind of interested. I like that, especially the NLDS. There's some good matchups. Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, you guys get A's. That was a softball. That was just kind of the first thing I thought of as far as a question for today. But yeah, go ahead, Romero, with your question.
All right, this is another pretty soft and easy question. And I'm gonna keep it on the same page. Basically, it's also a baseball question, and loosely is connected to the hometown team. So in 2001, I broke Mark McGwire's single season home run record. Who am I, and how many home runs did I hit that season?
AP, you know this question?
I honestly do not.
Really?
Yep.
So you
Unless,
want to give it a guess?
wait,
I know
yeah,
it.
unless it was, wait, you said in 2001 though?
Yeah.
I don't know, so I'm gonna just throw a name out there. Albert Pujols.
Oof.
Yeah, that's all I got for you.
Oof.
Yeah, you might. It's better to stop while you're hit.
Yeah, yeah.
Stop. You know who it is, though, AP. You hear this name. At least it's in the lyric of a song.
Yeah, we'll see. Go ahead, Josh.
It's first of all, that was Albert Pujols' rookie year. He probably only hit like 30 home runs that year, but
you had to do all that.
and, yeah, I had to flex a little bit, but it's yeah. The answer is Barry Bonds with 73 home runs.
Now, the best part of the question is how did you know that the number off the top of your head? That's what I'm more interested to know.
I don't know. That's just kind of baseball trivia kind of thing where you just know it.
I got you. I was just curious. You know, you picked that number out real smooth.
Yeah.
Here's another hit, Barry Bonds.
Yes, sir. That's the lyric you were referencing to, I believe.
Mm-hmm. So, AP?
That's a
F
solid
minus.
That's an A-, bro.
No. If the person you guessed wasn't a rookie during that time, I might have given you something. But you was far left.
Man, 2001, I was what? I was barely 6 years old.
Hey. I'm just saying.
You know what I like? I like the way people say I was today years old when they found out such and such. That's hilarious. I like that. I was today years old when I found out that. Whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at.
Yeah.
That's exactly the case here.
Yeah, I was today years old when I found out Barry Bonds is the home run king for a season.
Wild.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't. I thought she was at least gonna get Barry Bonds.
Nah,
Mm.
man. I just heard. No, look, no, I don't follow baseball like that for real, for real.
Facts, right. I mean, you knew when the Cardinals lost, so that actually kind of surprised me. Cause I knew you didn't follow baseball like that, but when you knew that, I was like, okay, you gotta
Well, I
kick it
follow
in.
the home team.
Oh, okay, makes sense. Um, dang. Oh, I know what I was doing. Got distracted. All right. Yep. So that's it for question of the day. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into the show. We're gonna start it off with last week in 60 seconds. This is the part of the show where we try to cram in all of last week's news, or the past week, in 60 seconds. Gonna ask me and Romero are gonna ask each other a question. We're gonna try to answer as quickly as possible. There's gonna be 4 questions, 2 per person, and we're gonna try to answer all of them in 60 seconds. Simple enough. Yep. AP's gonna sit this one out, so it's just gonna be me and Rev. Are you ready, bro?
Yeah, it's cutting out a little bit. Now I got you back. I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
All right. So let's ready. There. I remember which question I'm gonna ask. Okay. All right. Ready, set,
Mhm.
go. So the NBA preseason started last week. Tell me what are your thoughts on just some of the early games that you've seen in the preseason.
Of course, everybody and their mama is covering the Lakers just because LeBron is there now. And I got to say, they look like they're going to be a fun team. They do a lot of running and gunning. And not only LeBron and Rondo were doing flashy dimes, but even Ingram and Hart are throwing some passes too. They're looking pretty sick. So they're going to be fun to watch. Also,
Right.
Luka is tough. Don't let the reports fool you. He's tough.
If you say so. You talking about Doncic?
Yes.
Okay. If you say so.
Wow. Anyway, I want to ask you about the Cardinals missing the playoffs for the 3rd straight season. How do you feel?
Heartbroken. They need to do something this offseason. They need to pick up a third baseman. They need to make a big move. They need to spend some money this year. Retired Cardinals fans are not impatient as far as not making the playoffs. So LaMelo Ball punched not Carmelo Anthony, Jaden, but LaMelo Ball was in a JBA league, or it was some JBA event. It was overseas. Slapped the opposing player. Do you think this increases his chance of making the NBA, showing his toughness?
Absolutely. I think just his willingness to slap somebody across their mouth like a pimp named Slipback displayed more toughness than any person in the league right now has displayed because it's a soft league.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But yeah, go ahead. What's your question?
Yeah, so anyway, playoffs, MLB predictions. Let's go.
I like the Braves. I'm less sure because they lost the first, game 1, but I want to see the Braves make it to the World Series. Little known fact, Braves are probably like my second favorite team, so I would like to see the Braves make it. All right. And that was last week in 2 minutes and 2 seconds. So about 62 seconds over 60 seconds, but you know.
Hey, but whenever we do hit 60 seconds, we gonna shock the world because they're gonna be like, oh my God, they did it.
Yeah.
So it's all right.
Just wait on it. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make 60 seconds one day. We're gonna make 60 seconds one day. Well, let's see. What is Jaden talking about? Let's see. Gary said Lakers keep losing. Ingram balling though. That's the preseason, man. Let's not overanalyze it. Jada said Melo balling too, so Melo ain't pressed Kevin Garnett. What are you talking about? Anybody know what this man talking about?
He don't know what he talking about.
Come on, Jade, man. You distracted us from the show.
Get him out of here, coach.
I gotta show you love because you commented. I appreciate it, but all right. So we go ahead and get into the meat of the show. We got some more news from the none other than the No
No
Fun League.
fun.
So,
Hey!
I don't know if you guys been paying attention, but for all of the off season, all of training camp, Earl Thomas was holding out for a contract, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people were pretty sure that he would be. Well, he was really kind of asking for it to be traded. Wasn't comfortable with his contract situation. I don't know how much he has left on his contract. But yeah, he's been holding out. He really wanted to be traded to Cowboys. That didn't happen. So he decided that he was going to play early on in this season. And what is it? Week 4, 4 weeks into the league, he fractures his foot, and basically he's done for the season. Um, Very unfortunate situation, but it brings to light why these players are holding out.
Mm-hmm.
Because now that he's hurt, he's not gonna get nowhere near as much money as he would have gotten had he played the entire season, because him being injured is gonna leave doubt in any team with how well he'll be able to bounce back. Easily the best safety in the league. Um, Now will probably be underpaid for the entirety of his career, simply because a team refuses to give this man what he deserves, what he's earned up to this point. But due to contracts, he's not. They're not forced to give him a huge contract like he deserves.
Mm-hmm.
So, just kind of what are your how frustrating is it as a fan, I guess, to see this happen to a good dude? He really, other than him holding out, he really is a good dude. He hasn't done anything to get in trouble. Like I said, he's probably the top safety in the league, and now he has to deal with this. Um, yeah. So, what are your thoughts on that? Either one.
AP, if you want to take it first, you can.
I'm a just make a brief comment because I am boycotting, so I'm not following the No Fun League as much this season.
Well, I
Uh,
filled you in.
you did. So I will say this.
I'm
I
not
will
watching.
say
I'm not watching though, but I'm not watching.
this. I will say that it is really incredible the standoffs that happen between players and between ownership in the NFL, because I think in any other league, um, they I don't know, that leverage that the owners have is just not there, or the stubbornness to not pay their players. The NFL, yeah, they're really unique in that situation, because the NBA will pay players, overpay players, as we've seen in years past. Joakim Noah, just to name one guy.
Well, dang.
Luau Dang getting paid 32 million. Like, it's just crazy.
Chandler Parsons.
Exactly, and the list just
Hey, I
keeps
forgot he
going.
was in the league until I saw him in the pregame for Dallas the other day.
Yep. Chandler
See,
Parsons. Even somebody like Mike Conley, but I mean, kinda.
it's just it's just crazy. And then baseball, they pay their players. I just don't understand why the NFL, why the ownership just well, I mean, I do understand because of the whole injury situations, but the unwillingness to pay their players, who actually make a difference on the team at that. It's not like we're telling them to pay role players, but to pay those big impact guys. I don't know. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah, I think a perfect representation of the NFL and its owners is and Josh, I know you'll appreciate this as a Chappelle fan. You remember when he got Oprah pregnant and then he started sitting in the house and being super lazy?
Yeah.
And then you remember when he had his robe and his crown on, and Oprah said something about Stedman, and he's sitting there in his robe and his crown, holding his money close to his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the NFL and its owners.
Yeah.
They refuse to pay these men. As AP said, the ones that are actually making a difference, not just role players or guys that aren't important, or the I hate to say it this way, but the Joakim Noahs and Luau Dangs of the league. We're talking about the actual like huge impact players. They don't want to pay those guys. And then I think it's irritating as a fan in reference to other fans because other fans like to get all mad about people sitting out, whether it be because they want them on a fantasy team or they think they're being babies and blah, 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 or you're already making enough money. Why don't you play? But then you see why they hold out, because this is a prime example. Now I'm financially going to be screwed over and make less than I deserve in the future, all because I'm now injured. Whereas if I went ahead and secured my payday, I wouldn't be as worried about it. So it's kind of frustrating as a fan to see these players have to deal with that and see the ownership rather not pay them or try to trade them as opposed to them just going ahead and giving them what they're worth. And as a fan, it's finally like, do y'all get it now to other fans? Like, do y'all understand why they have this issue? Because Earl Thomas was pissed. I mean, he flipping the bird to the bench as he getting carried off the field. You know he was pissed off because he probably knew this is exactly what would happen or was a possibility.
Yeah. Also, did you guys see? Well, I mean, obviously we all know about the Le'Veon Bell situation. So, and Le'Veon Bell reached out to Earl Thomas on social media, reaching out, showing his support, said something like he's gonna continue to be the bad guy for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, Le'Veon Bell is probably the first guy to really go through with the holdout into the season. So well, even though I think he said he's coming back week 7 during the Steelers bye week. So he's gonna miss about half of the season of the team season.
Yeah.
And let's hope he doesn't get hurt. Um, but what do you guys think about as far as that? Like, is there any way that this will actually change anything, or are there any? Is there any chance that things will change?
I doubt it. I mean,
Yeah.
you look at the Raiders, unwilling to pay Khalil, goes to Chicago, and he's looking like a potential MVP candidate because he's been balling for them.
Yeah, like unbelievably balling.
Exactly. He's been going crazy. And I think I saw it somewhere the other day, even Gruden was like, dang, again? Like, because Khalil has been putting on a show. And you got the Steelers knowing what Bell is capable of, and they looking to try.
As Oakland is stinking it up in their last season in Oakland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know if y'all watch it, but The Rock show Ballers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives a little insight into how the industry kind of works, and I think if people tune into that more, they'll kind of get to see like what really goes on behind the scenes. This last week, they were talking about players, and the character Ricky Jarrett was trying to get signed, or he's trying to play for the LA Rams, and but he told them that if he gets signed, he's going to kneel. And the owner was so pissed about it. But his friend Charles was able to convince him, convince the owner that it was a good move to back it and all this other stuff. But I think in order for it to change, I just don't know what the owners are really trying to say to players when they refuse to pay them in that way. Because it's not just like they're really expendable. Again, these are the big impact guys. So I'm just wondering what the real subliminal message is behind their refusal to pay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They need to fix it. Otherwise, like I said, NFL is going to burn out quick. It's coming. Yeah. Their demise is coming. Between problems with the ownership, the rule changes, the officiating, the refusing to pay players, it's coming.
Yeah, I see it coming too. Because they just don't know what to do. And like we've talked about this before. It's just like, how can you get things so wrong every single time? Like, can you ever be right, please? Like, it's not. It really isn't that hard. It's not that difficult to be right, or you can even say politically correct. Like, being politically correct is really not difficult. It's probably easier than anything else. But
Yeah.
they managed to get it wrong every single time. It's just like it's beating your head against the wall, like being so hard headed to where it's like all you got to do is press this button and it's gonna bring you millions and millions of fans. It's gonna be the right thing to do, and they just like, no, I don't want to press that button. I want to press my own button. And it's just the wrong button. It's just like, come on, man. Like, come on. It's not that difficult.
Yeah. It's disappointing. Because it's like that person you're rooting for. It's like, we all have friends in relationships and you want that relationship to work out, but every time you try to vouch for the person, they do something else dumb and you like, this is why she can't be with you.
Right.
It's like one of those because you want the NFL to do right and be successful, but every time they put that foot right back in their mouth as an organization, you're like, oh my God, see, this is why.
Like, like, come
Yeah,
on. Like,
very frustrating.
why would I vouch for you?
Exactly.
But yeah. So, AP, how long you holding out?
Oh, I'm done. I mean, I retired from the fantasy football league.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's tough.
it's for real. It's serious. Yeah, I liked winning. I liked money. I did, but it's about the bigger picture to me, and so I cannot support anything
You
from
know,
them.
well, I really just thought about this, and this is really kind of going away from the show, but we never talked about Eric Reed signing with the Carolina Panthers. Eric Reed was the other guy from San
Right?
Francisco. He filed a grievance lawsuit against the NFL. I think that he's currently that case is still underway or going. He's still going through with the case, but he signed with the Carolina Panthers. He kneeled. He was one of the players to kneel with Colin Kaepernick in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Is that showing some hope?
No, because they still ain't rocking with Cap. While he is guilty by association and the first to join in on it, they would still rather take him than take Cap. So I don't really see that changing, at least in the foreseeable future.
But do you guys see Cap ever playing in NFL again?
No.
Um, they said there were rumors going about. I don't know at this point. I figure if he hasn't signed with the team yet, too many years off is just going to add to the excuses as to why teams can't sign him.
Right. Because then they can say, oh, well, we question if he's in shape and it's been X amount of years since he's touched the NFL field. And, they can just layer on excuses.
Yeah. If he
So,
did, if he did play, would you continue to boycott?
I mean, the league's still trash.
Right. Right. The rest of it is trash. So, no, I would need to see more from them than just signing Cap. Because to me, if it was about Cap to begin with and he's not in the league anymore, then what are people still upset about within the league? So, yeah, that's probably not unless they actually took a stance that goes further than that.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. Well, that was a quick sidebar on that topic. But we're going to stop talking about the No Fun League because, quite frankly, it's pretty exhausting for the most part. It really is.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and go to the I don't even want to say the much better league, but I don't know, for like a
Facts are facts.
yeah. Yeah. We're going to talk about the NBA, and quite frankly, it's going to be in the NBA for the rest of the show. So if you're ready to talk basketball, please talk basketball with us. We got a bunch of interesting topics to talk about. We need some interactions from everybody listening. So just let us know what you guys are thinking. First off, we got Kyrie Irving committing to the Boston Celtics says that as long as the Boston Celtics will have him. He wants to resign with the. He wants to resign with them. And then also this came in to the news feed today. He There's some rumblings that he's been trying to recruit Anthony Davis to join the Boston Celtics next free agency. Obviously, Anthony Davis will be a free agent next season. He's going to be probably the top free agent because he's probably got an MVP in his future. Um, what do you guys think of him committing to Boston? First off, is it a big deal or is it kind of being overplayed?
Overplayed, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Because my thing is, how many athletes have said this, and then that very next summer, at that same time, the next year, they're in a different jersey. So, I mean, my thing is, when those type of questions or discussions are brought up, a player's not going to say no. They're not going to say, this time next year, I'm out, but I appreciate y'all for having me, and I look forward to this season, but I will not be here next season. Like, the player isn't going to say they're not going to be there. We've seen KD say he was going to stay. He left. LaMarcus Aldridge said he wanted to be in Portland forever. He left. Kevin Love talked positively about Minnesota. He left. So to me, I don't really care until I see your name on that contract or you genuinely display behaviors that make you say, he ain't going. Like Paul George, the way he actually interacted with Oklahoma City, you were like, yeah, I feel like he actually could stay. And then in free agency, you were still like, even though it's around the corner, I don't see him leaving. Other than that, I don't trust any player's word because you're not going to tell me the truth and say I'm leaving or I'm going to consider it. You're going to play it the positive way and be like, oh, yeah, I love it here, blah, blah, blah. So I don't think it's anything worth hyping up just yet. Talk to me after the playoffs next year, and then we'll see.
What you think, AP?
I was actually very surprised by it that he committed this early. I mean, he's got a ring, so it's not like he's looking for that. He had a problem playing Robin to LeBron's Batman. Boston is very talented, so I just don't see him being Batman on that team.
Jason Tatum now.
Right. It was just surprising to me. So, but I mean, he also thinks the earth is flat, along with Paul Pierce. So I'm not really sure. Even the management at Boston said that it kind of came out of the blue when he notified them that he was recommitting. So yeah, I'm just not sure what made him think that, unless his main motivator is I don't see me beating the Warriors anywhere else, which I mean I completely understand that, and it would also explain him trying to get AD. That part I'm not happy about. I think AD does need help, but I don't want him to join the Justice League of the East. So yeah, that's my take on that.
I mean, honestly, I think take his word on it. Because like you said, I think it is his best chance to winning the championship. Sorry. Yeah, I think it's his best chance because the only true other team that people were like wanting him to go, or that I guess would kind of make sense because it would be a bigger market, is New York Knicks, and you know who wants to play for the New York Knicks?
Well, there was an article that came out the other day, which, like you said, I mean, I always assume these are all BS rumors, but it said that the Knicks have the same allure or the equivalent situation that LA did for KD, or the LA did for LeBron. They're saying that the Knicks have that for KD. So if things like that are true and big names are considering going out to New York or are, thinking it might be a positive situation, then it's plausible that he want to go there. Because we don't know what these guys talk about, and they talk to each other. KD and Kyrie spend time together over the summer working out. So you never know. And he could have been talking to AD. We assume that he talked about playing in Boston, but they could have just been talking about playing together, period. So since that's where Kyrie is and he's in the better franchise, we assume that's what he's talking about. But they easily could have been talking about, yo, let's link up in Sacramento, So that's the other thing that doesn't make me too positive about it. Because just because a player talks to another player about playing together doesn't automatically mean on the team I'm on right now. They could be considering going anywhere. If the free agencies line up, we can leave together. So
I would say, as far as that Knicks rumor about KD, I don't understand the same allure kind of thing. Like LeBron had, before even signing, he had a summer home in LA. Magic Johnson is over there, and Magic Johnson has well been ahead of his time in terms of business, while still playing in the league and kind of trying to set up your life for afterwards, which a lot of people are saying that's why LeBron went to LA. I'm not understanding that for the Knicks. As far as I know, he's not looking for that same kind of mentor relationship. It's the same in the sense of it being a big market, but I don't think it necessarily had. I don't think it's the exact same situation.
And Gary makes a good point. He said if Kyrie didn't want to play sidekick with LeBron, why would he want to play sidekick with KD?
Facts.
Excellent point.
KD already said he's not a good leader.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But, so then Kyrie would be the leader because KD is not a leader. And if you play with Anthony Davis, you're gonna be sidekick to AD.
KD will still be the leader. It's clear. Kyrie wants to be the Batman of his team, and in Boston, he'd be the Batman of his team. Even with, I think he would be the kind of the Well, I don't know. It would be hard, but I think at first he would be the Batman, with Anthony Davis, just because Anthony Davis doesn't have as much playoff experience as Kyrie.
Nah, you play with Anthony Davis, it's another Shaq and Kobe situation to me, where you both are very equally talented, but that big man is just too dominant for people to give you the credit as the best player or the leader.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't really see Kyrie as a player that can ever truly be Batman unless he's on that crappy Cleveland team that he was to start his career. When you play with other All-Stars, especially All-Stars that are bigger and better names than you, it's hard for you to still be Batman.
Wait, you don't think he's Batman on the Boston Celtics right now?
I mean, slightly, but he's got an all-around good team that I don't think he gets the head and shoulders like, oh, he's definitely Batman.
Oh, no, he definitely is Batman.
I think...
I'm not saying he's not Batman. I'm just saying I don't think he'll ever have that 100% like Kobe, like I am that dude perspective. Because Boston overall is still a very quality coached and talent-wise organization.
Yeah,
so even though he'll be the leader, the organization will still be able to do okay without him. Terry Rozier can fill in enough of what he provides that they'll still be a decent team. Whereas if you take Kobe off of some of them teams he was on, it's like, yeah, this team is garbage.
And I think that makes it interesting because that would make sense to why he would go to a team like the Knicks. Because if he goes to the Knicks, he's clear cut Batman if he plays on the Knicks.
Yeah. I mean, your backups are Emmanuel Mudiay and Frank Ntilikina or whatever his name is.
Ntilikina.
Yeah, and the other players on your team, Porzingis and Kevin Knox, are young dudes. So you would definitively be that guy.
Yeah.
Other than that.
Gary says Kyrie is Batman. I don't know. I think he's Batman.
I'm not saying he's not. Like I said, just he's got pieces to supplement his talent. So exactly.
And I mean, it really depends on if they make it to the finals, what he does in the finals. He can prove himself to be a Batman based off of a series that he plays.
Yeah.
But at this point he's Batman. But like you said, it could always be somebody else that steps up to where he wouldn't be as much of a Batman. I get your point as far as that, yeah.
Because I'm saying they almost made the finals with Terry Rozier as the lead man, so
yeah.
As stacked as Boston is, that kind of shows that while he is Batman and the guy on that team, they can still live without him. I'm not saying he's any less of a player.
What are we going to say, AP?
So the whole analogy of Batman, I mean, like we use it because he has a sidekick and Robin and Superman kind of doesn't really have a sidekick. But I think we should, if we think about it like this, in the way that Batman really functions in quote unquote a Justice League, right? Batman is kind of a mastermind, even though Superman is the power punch. So in that way, Kyrie is definitely that in Boston, to where he handles the ball and he decides who gets it. And he may not drop 50 on you every night, but he is very much in control of the game. He may not be the power punch on that team. If like AD came, AD would definitely be that kind of thing. I think it's just the way we frame what he does for that team.
Yeah, that's fair. I like that. Not enough people use that analogy like that.
Yeah, that was well put, well said. Gary says Terry's not as good as he played. I disagree with you, Gary. I think Terry Rozier is actually really he could go on his own team and he would probably do damage.
Yeah, I think he's legit.
Yeah,
I,
don't
in that
disrespect Scary Terry.
in that series he did play. He probably played out of his mind. Yes. And he probably I think it was more so like him showing what he could be, even though he's not yet at that point. But if he really continues to work hard, he could definitely be at that point. So.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
But yeah, so we'll see, man. This Boston team is just exciting. I think that's what it really is. I think they have a better shot to beat the Warriors than any team ever has. Since the Cavaliers beat them, and they just got so many good players, and the only thing they're really missing is a really big man. But Al Horford is a good supplement. Actually, Al Horford was really great last year, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as long as Al Horford rebounds, I think Boston is fine. But even then, he doesn't necessarily have to do all of that himself with how much athleticism they have in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Yeah, I agree with you. They definitely got the best shot to take down the Warriors right now. The thing I would look into, I guess, going forward would be their salary cap situation. That would be their only thing that may prohibit them going forward.
Oh yeah, it's best believe because Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum getting paid
Yeah.
in the very near future.
Right.
It's probably like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, Jalen should be up now.
Yeah, he
For the
should be
and
restricted free agent.
yeah.
Yeah, he's getting paid. He's gonna get paid. But yeah, we'll see. This, like I said, they're an exciting team. Is that all you guys want to say on that?
Yeah, that's all I got. Like I said,
Yeah.
but we can talk about it next July when he officially signs. Other than that, I'm not taking it apart.
Yeah. I mean,
I've
yeah,
been
you
misled by
can't.
too many big names.
So much, really. I mean, you really be. That's true. So much could change between now and that free agency season next year. So much could change.
I mean, dude, he's sitting there with LeBron saying, "We'll be back," and
Right.
he's gone. So, and like I said, being a fan of a player and a team that has said that and reinforced that, and then getting burned, I don't want Boston fans to do the same thing. Just don't take it too much to heart, because these dudes will sit there and say that, and then they'll shake, and you'll be looking, what?
Or the organization may change their mind. I mean, look at the Clippers and what they did to Blake Griffin. So
Look at Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas was a Boston lifer, and they said, all right, somebody better is available. You're gone. So,
Instantly.
I mean, who's to say Boston doesn't say, oh, AD is available, but they want Kyrie? We got Terry Rozier, and he did a decent job backing him up. We got plenty of other young talent, and we got Gordon Hayward. All right, we'll take it. Like anything is possible. So,
yeah,
holler at me next July when it's official.
Yeah. Plus, Kyrie got to stay healthy for a full season.
Yeah.
Big facts.
He's got to stay healthy. Some more NBA news. The Timberwolves are still shopping Jimmy Butler. I haven't heard much as far as trading destinations, but I'm gonna let My boy Murrow, he introduced this topic to me. So, what's the news on the Timberwolves and this Jimmy Butler situation?
Well, excuse me, I had a little burpy burp. So at one point they were looking at the Heat, and apparently the pretty much league wide opinion is y'all want too much. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, we want.
that's what I saw all last week. Like, asking price is way too high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and some of the general feeling is y'all are trying to basically put it to where you can't trade him because the asking price is too high and nobody's accepting it. So, we can't trade you, Jimmy. Guess you got to stay. Um, yeah, so they were looking at the Heat, and that was a pretty stacked offer that I guess the Heat just didn't want to pull the trigger on. And now they're looking at the Clippers, and apparently that deal would also involve Tobias Harris, which that's a good trade to me. Tobias Harris is a quality forward. He did some major balling for Detroit last year when they were a hot team at the at the very start of the season. Tobias was doing damage. He was actually really playing well. So if you can get a package that gets Tobias Harris in your lineup, Jimmy Butler to me isn't like a superstar stud or anything. So it's not like that hurts you as far as replacements go. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Like it's not like it's a downgrade from like a LeBron or KD to Tobias. It's Jimmy Butler. So it's a decent, fill-in.
but I think Jimmy Butler's better than Tobias Harris. So I think
No, absolutely. I'm just
okay.
saying it's not that big a downgrade.
Yeah, okay.
It's not as big of a downgrade as if you had like the top 2 or 3 small forwards and then, we got Tobias. It's like Jimmy Butler is a solid player. Tobias ain't that bad of a fill-in for him. And at one point, Houston was looking into something. I don't know if Houston was doing one of those things where we're baiting people because people don't want us to get them. Because that type of stuff happens as far as trades go.
Who you talking about, Gary?
I think it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see where he goes. I know LA is stacked. If LA gets him and you got Beverly, Bradley, and Butler guarding the 1 through 3, they're going to have a solid defensive team. I mean, they will be...
Triple B.
Right. They're going to be out there in LA, the real BBB. And then don't let them mess around and somehow still get Kawhi. You got 4 pure defensive players and everything else is secondary. If they can do anything right besides that, they could be solid. So
that would be a decent team. Gary said, "Stop disrespecting Butler, man."
I'm not disrespecting him. I'm just saying I'm not at all saying Jimmy Butler isn't a quality player. But what I'm saying is a Tobias Harris isn't a huge downgrade for him. It's not like I'm saying that, if they were getting Justice Winslow in exchange, it'd be like, ooh, that's a bad deal. Tobias Harris ain't that bad of a deal. He's a very solid player. So I'm not saying Butler is bad. I'm just saying a player Tobias Harris's level isn't a big, big downgrade. It's still not Jimmy Butler, but it's not like you stepping 10 steps back. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you saying Tobias Harris is better?
Better than Jimmy Butler?
Yeah.
No. So shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. You're trolling. No,
That's crazy. He said, "Hey, this man said Tobias Harris better than Jimmy Butler." I am done.
Shut up. Yeah, that's just like a couple steps back from what you currently have. Whereas most deals you'll probably get as the Timberwolves is going to be any person that fills that small forward slot is going to be definitely, or I guess he played the 2 last year. Either way, anybody else that you'll probably get league-wide is going to be a step down, a huge step down, whereas Tobias Harris won't be that big of a step. He's still a quality, productive player.
What happens if they don't trade him? Because clearly they don't want to trade him. What do you do if if you're Jimmy Butler and they're like, yeah, you're gonna have to play with this team again?
Apparently he's willing to play for them if a trade doesn't get done. He's not gonna pull a Kawhi and just not play. Apparently that's the situation. Like he's okay with playing. He's not just, I'll be damned if I play for y'all again. Like he just want to trade. And if it don't happen, okay, well, I'll suit up and play. Like I think Jimmy Butler more than anything still wants to play basketball. I wants them to know I don't plan on staying here. So if you can, get me out of here. But if not, I'll go ahead and play, and I'll make myself look real good for that contract I'm gonna get this summer.
Could you ever see like a player just like not wanting to be on the team is just like obviously he's hogging the ball like on Kobe level times 10.
KD Game 6, is that what you just said? No, I'm just playing. I'm playing. I would hope not, because in that case, you just gotta wave them.
Bro, you would win Petty Betty of the Year. That would be hilarious. I want to see that. That's what I want to see.
That would be you call the paradigm of scarcity versus the paradigm of abundance. At that point, I'm playing for my numbers. I'm shooting everything. Ain't a bad shot I can see.
Usage rate is gonna be at 1,000. 100.
That would be crazy.
Man, here's the thing. Here's my take on that. I don't think that Minnesota is asking for too much.
Yes, they are.
No, here's the thing, though. They're not asking for too much. What it is they're trying to get a good return on Jimmy Butler because he's going to walk in free agency. Why the league is saying they're asking for too much is because they're like, hey, look, y'all finna lose him anyway. So really, y'all have no leverage and power. But that's the same thing with Kawhi. We weren't asking for too much. We were asking for what he is worth.
Nah, y'all was asking for too much. You really thought you was going to get Ingram and other big future pieces out of the Lakers? No. If you're smart,
that's the point. That's the point of it.
We trying to see how much you want this player. That's all it is. We're not asking for too much.
Off a trade that wasn't arm and a leg, and they got two solid players in return. And some people said they won that trade after looking at it. So you don't have to get the biggest pieces of people's teams just to get return.
Yeah, they weren't asking for the biggest pieces of people's team. They asked for Bam Adebayo, who maybe I just didn't see enough games from him, but he is the same cookie cutter athletic big man that other people are. Like, there's nothing big on that, and I don't understand the hype around Josh Richardson. He shoots threes. So I don't think they were asking too much from the Heat on that.
Because it's a similar situation to the Lakers where these are young pieces of our core and we see them developing. We're not giving that up.
Josh Richardson is a 3-and-D player like anybody else in this league. He's just young is the only difference.
But Bam Adebayo is their future, probably their future center because they don't have a future with Hassan Whiteside.
And that don't make any sense because they made Hassan Whiteside in the first place.
You asked for Whiteside and probably what's the white boy? Tyler Johnson? They probably say, okay, you can take him. But you're not taking you're not taking him.
Well, I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, who was that?
What's his name?
You're not taking Bam You can't have him.
What's his Romero, what is his name?
Right, say the man's name.
Oh my God.
What I don't understand though is why Minnesota is asking for him in the first place. The thing is they're not going to ask for Hassan because they don't need him. They have Cat, so they don't need Hassan Whiteside. I'm confused as to why they're asking for Bam anyway when they have Gorgie Dang as a backup.
Because I also feel like teams want to see who's stupid and who's not. They want to see if they can bend over Miami the same way the Celtics did Boston. Oh yeah, we'll give you this if you give us that.
I mean, the Celtics did Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, yeah. Wow. You know what I meant. Yeah.
But that's the thing.
But no way did they think Brooklyn would be like, oh, sure, take our picks for the next 13 years. It just happened to work. So they was like, oh, okay.
AP, I think you hit it on the nose. They're asking for too much because they don't have any leverage. When you don't have any leverage, you're going to have to take it. For the most part, you're going to have to take an L. The key is to take as little as an L as possible because you don't have any leverage. So the key is you would rather get something in return. You would rather get some kind of draft pick, a protected draft pick. You would rather get a solid role piece, a solid role player than nobody. That's the point. You're getting more if you trade Jimmy Butler, you're getting more. Whatever it is, you're getting more than what you're going to get if he signs with somebody else. That's just the beauty of that's just the kind of the lose-lose. It's a lose-lose situation.
That's the way
you're going to lose them anyway, so you might as well lose them and get
my
something.
thing also is though that Miami when he first gave his request. Miami became a contender later. When he first gave his request, Miami was not on that list. They don't have any leverage either.
Miami?
If Jimmy Butler walks away from Minnesota, he was going to New York, Brooklyn at first. This is at first. He was going to Brooklyn, New York, or he was going to the Clippers. So therefore, Miami had no leverage. It wasn't until those trade talks started that he was like, all right, I'll go to Miami.
Right, but he said he'll go to Miami. So Miami,
But they ain't got no
obviously,
leverage. Before
Miami,
that, they didn't have any leverage.
yeah,
You
but,
can say the same thing for the last two small forward trades that we've seen. Paul George, Oklahoma wasn't on his list, and Kawhi Leonard, Toronto was not on his list.
Yeah.
But you put it out there, and I'm like, I mean, shoot, I'll go. So you don't lose leverage by being a team that wasn't on an original list for a player because they'll take it, especially if they're ready to leave.
yeah.
I'm sure Boston wasn't on Kyrie's list, but once Boston came up, he was probably like, peace.
Now,
I'm
Boston, I
good.
think Boston was on his list.
Yeah, Boston was on his list.
I think it was.
But
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, though.
You don't lose any type of leverage for not being on the player's original top 3 or whatever, because a player is ready to go and they'll look at the team and say, you know what? Sure.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we just know that he doesn't want to be where he's at now.
Exactly. I don't want to be back here, so I will go just about anywhere. And I think that the Spurs and the Pacers set the tone as far as trades. You can't beg too much. The Spurs initially wanted a whole lot, and then they found a decent trade that wasn't really ripping anybody's roster apart. Okay, you'll give us DeMar. That's a all-star for an all-star trade, and we'll also take a young guy with potential. And Indiana says, okay, Victor Oladipo's got mad potential. He just hasn't really lived up to it yet. And Sabonis is a solid rookie. Okay, we'll take it. Neither one of those teams ripped anybody off like massively. So I think as Minnesota, you have to go, you know what? Let's see something that's out there that's not a massive blockbuster deal, and we'll take it. We don't have to get 3 or 4 players in return. We can get 1 or 2 solid guys, and this could play out good for us. And you're also Minnesota. How about you tell Wiggins and Cat to step up instead of trying to gut everybody else's roster? Make the potential stars you got on your team actually play the way they should be playing, and you won't have it.
Well, Wiggins is his own case. Cat signed his extension right after the whole Jimmy thing started. So Cat was like, hey, look.
It was basically him or Cat.
Right. So, Wiggins, though, that's a whole different story. Wiggins is the one piece. I think if frustrations are coming from Minnesota, they're coming dealing with Wiggins.
It's because both of your 20-somethings are cheeks. And you made a bad trade in the first place. You had Zach LaVine and Chris Dunn, who were solid young dudes, and you traded him for Jimmy Butler just because you wanted that old thing back, Tibbs. It wasn't worth it. That's what you get. You a goofy now.
Well, that was part of the whole defensive bit. All right, we can. I said my piece on it.
That's another day, another topic, low key.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. That was an interesting topic. I really don't know where he's going. I don't see. They got to trade him. I'm sorry. There's no way with the keep that same energy with all that. Like, no, he got to go.
It's the same thing with Hassan. Like, where he gonna go? But Hassan has been playing in the preseason, trying to show that his stock is still up. I don't know what team's gonna do.
Well, and then you have to consider this too, because I think teams ideally want to say, let's get him out. Let's start fresh at the top of the season. Blah 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 blah. That don't mean you ain't got the rest of the season up until February. So just because it don't work right now, don't mean he ain't gone. They just right now may not be getting anything, and teams are gonna play. Dang, we could use Jimmy Butler. Hey, Minnesota. Okay, how y'all feel about this for Jimmy? Bet, done deal. So just because it's not happening right now, or he ends up playing in a Minnesota jersey to start some of the season, don't mean it's gonna stay that way.
He's not in training camp though, is he?
But like I said, I'm pretty sure I saw something the other day that said he's willing to play. If it just doesn't happen before the season, he's not just going to sit around.
Yeah, Tibbs say he's going to reach out.
Hmm?
Tibbs said he gonna reach out and tell him to come back to training camp, or tell him to come to training camp and start the season with him.
Well,
It did
Tibbs
work.
ain't worked. So Tibbs need to give it up. Tibbs need to let his assistant coach do it or somebody, because Tibbs just not. No, he's not
You
listening to
clearly
you.
not the one for it.
I mean,
You
that's also a management thing.
Jimmy.
That's the ownership saying we choose Tibbs over Jimmy. At that point,
But no, it's not. I don't think it's Tibbs' relationship with Jimmy Butler. It's Jimmy Butler's relationship with Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah. Well, and then there was some silly report. Who knows if it was true or not, that Butler hooked up with Wiggins' girl or something. So you never know what's really going on. Besides the work ethic issue that apparently came up.
I don't put it past Butler. He did see what he did to
D-Wade.
Gabrielle Union.
But
Yeah.
look, and that's probably why D-Wade got so mad, because they boys. So if something did happen, D-Wade probably knew. So
Right.
that's probably why he was like, hey, hold on. I ain't Wiggins. You know what I'm saying? We're not
need
going
you
to do
to
an
chill
OC
out.
like
I know about you, young buck.
we done heard about you, young buck. We ain't doing that over there. Oh no. Can't even do it over here. Oh no.
Weak.
But yes, I mean, Minnesota can figure something out. Butler isn't, like I said, he's not going to pull a Kawhi. Apparently, Butler doesn't want to miss regular season games if he doesn't get traded. Like I said, I think more than anything, he is a basketball player. He does want to play. And he's not going to sit around and gamble on free agency to bail him out. He'll go ahead and play. He's not going to sit there and wait for them to trade him to get bailed out, is what I meant. He'll go ahead and play. He's going to have his numbers and be an all-NBA defensive team player, maybe even all-NBA second team in general. So he going to get a contract regardless. Even if he don't have a good year, somebody's going to pay him. So I don't think he's really sweating getting traded, because either way, I'm leaving. It's your loss if you don't get rid of me now.
Yeah.
But he's going to play, and they definitely will trade him. If not by the start of the season, you best believe by the trade deadline, he's gone. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when, not if.
Yeah, if they pay Chandler Parsons, they definitely gonna pay Jimmy Butler.
Shoot, man. If they pay Luol Deng and Joakim Noah what they pay, y'all know how much we can make right now in the NBA as a scrub? If those dudes can make that much money, I can go get me a quick 1.4 right now. I mean, it's totally doable.
I mean, shoot, I just need a 10-day contract. That's all I need. I'm not asking for too much.
That's all I need. I ain't even worried about it. I'll just be a little spark plug, mic me up, communication, try to get out there and be annoying on defense. You could pay me if you're going to pay them. I'll do more than Joakim Noah and Luol Deng did the last 2 or 3 years. I'm just throwing it out there. But anyway, yeah.
They are also about a foot taller than you, but no.
Facts. Those are facts.
And they set the bench, so how much does that foot matter? Exactly. So, I don't know.
They on the practice squad. But, anyway, anywho, we're going to move on to the next topic. And, so, this next topic is going to be a debate.
Again.
So just yesterday, Adrian. It was Adrian. No. It was Romero. Romero. Yeah. We have a group chat on Instagram, and Romero puts this picture up. I'm putting the picture up for everybody to see. You should be able to see it on the screen. I put it up right now. If you're at your computer or on your phone or something, you should be able to see it. Let me know if you can see it or not.
Yeah, let me check.
You good.
Check it. So Romero put this in the group chat, and I well, he was just asking who we would pick, who we would pick, and so I don't think I seen it until later, but Adrian replied and was like, what do you mean? He was questioning him on why he put this picture in the chat, because I guess he assumed that it was obvious. So Romero again.
It was just ambiguous. It was just ambiguous what he said.
Yeah. Okay. So Romero was like, "Who would you pick?" And AP says Orlando easily. And mind you, I haven't seen the chat until this point. So I'm looking at it. I see the picture, and I see AP say what you mean, and then I see him say Orlando easily. And in my mind, I'm like, wait, is he joking? Is he really think this is easy? Like easily Orlando? And then so I come back into I say something in the chat and I'm like, I break down my point on why I believe it's the Chicago Bulls very handily
which was false.
would win this question. So first of all, I would, if you could drop a comment and who you think wins um this all-time team to win a 7-game series, please drop a comment. Let me know who you think will win, and we'll all give our points on why we think each team should win. So
You're wrong.
I am I'm for Chicago. Romero and AP are thinking that Orlando Magic will somehow win in a 7-game series. Uh,
We winning this. I just want you to know that.
y'all not winning this. Like
Look at the comments already. Look at the comments already. We winning.
that doesn't matter. It really don't. It really
What
don't.
do you mean it don't matter?
Hey, only person that matters is Shaquille O'Neal. Okay, he's gonna dominate Dennis Rodman. But if you really think that Dwight Howard can handily dominate Scottie Pippen, you are out of your mind.
You said if you really think Dwight Howard can what?
Dominate Scottie Pippen. You are absolutely insane.
Here's what I will say. I wouldn't say he would easily dominate Scottie. I am probably one of the biggest Scottie Pippen fans out there. Let me just clear that up right now. I used to be a Dwight fan, and then he turned into a baby, and that just anyway. I don't think he'll easily dominate Scottie Pippen. What I'm saying is, when that Chicago team goes on offense against that Orlando Magic bigs, Derrick Rose is the inside player. Jimmy Butler is a post-up player. Michael Jordan, he can do it all, but he's not the strongest three-point shooter. Scottie Pippen and Jimmy Butler are the three-point shooters on that team.
Oh, by the way,
And
this
then-
is I didn't mean to cut you off. Gary,
Yeah.
these are all these players in their prime. So this is obviously before injury D-Rose. So all the players in their prime.
Yeah. Dennis Rodman's not giving you any offense at all. He's just rebounding. Dennis Rodman's not getting all the rebounds over Shaq and Dwight. It's just not happening. Grant Hill was a decent rebounder. Penny was a decent rebounder. Tracy McGrady don't have to do nothing but score. All I'm saying is, looking at this team, Orlando is taking that series because Chicago's an inside team. That's all it is.
Romero, you want to go?
And just on the flip side of that, Penny can do it all. Tracy McGrady is a shooter. Grant Hill, he got that strap. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like this is a more offensively well-rounded team in this Orlando squad. More offensive weapons because there's different things they can do. Shaq and Dwight, you can argue, can't really do much. That's fair. But I feel like you got the 1 through 3 on this Orlando team that can score on you from several areas on the floor. And they do a pretty good job of it. And also, everybody on that team is 6'8" and up. Derrick Rose, 6 foot. Jordan is what, like 6'6"? Pippen, 6'8". You know what I'm saying? That's a big Orlando squad. And that's a very talented team. If Penny didn't ever get hurt, you could see his flashes. He was going to be nasty. And that's the unfortunate part about, I think, that Orlando team. 4 of the 5 players are players that, man, like they could have been something nasty if they didn't get hurt. But just based off of what we've seen of them, you put all of them in their prime, I feel like they got it, Josh. I understand your point about Chicago, but dog, that Orlando team is disgusting. And I'm a Derrick Rose Chicago fan. Born in Chicago, so I got Chicago ties, and I want them to win. up until they started being absolute doo-doo, I really did cheer for them almost just as much as the Thunder. But so, of course, I want to cheer for that Chicago team. But, man, that Orlando team, nice.
Okay. So, first of all, you have. We're just going to start with the fact that you have Michael Jordan. I'm going to say it again. You have Michael Jordan, the GOAT.
That's fine.
None of the three guards can obviously guard. You can't guard Michael Jordan. Nobody can guard Michael Jordan. Nobody
You're
can.
not going to stop him, but you can guard him.
Nobody can beat Michael Jordan. And then
wait a minute. Continue. Don't
nobody
wait.
on that team can beat Michael Jordan easily. And then you got Derrick Rose. You got Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is like an equivalent in my point of view. He's equivalent to Grant Hill. Derrick Rose is better than Penny Hardaway.
Oh my God!
Are you serious?
Oh my God!
Did Derrick Rose not win MVP?
Oh my God!
Did Penny Hardaway ever win MVP?
Also, you can say that MVP wasn't deserved. That was another one. Ron could have and should have maybe won that one. Got it. But okay, I'm not going to take away from Derrick Rose. Yeah, he got the MVP. Go ahead.
Right. He led the. First of all, he led the Bulls. Did they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals? They did. When he won MVP, 2009.
Carry on.
And he was only what, 22 when he won MVP? And then your guys' biggest point is the bigs. Okay, you got interior defense. Okay, you got Shaq, you got Dwight Howard, who are literally the same player. Shaq is better, and the only true what's the word?
Mismatch.
Yeah, the only true mismatch. Thank you. Is Shaquille O'Neal. Okay, that's in my opinion, the greatest center of all time. At least one of the greatest centers of all time. Top 2, top 3. But you have Dwight Howard, who is he had potential, but he's still like he very one dimensional. And you have Scottie Pippen, who is easily one of the top defensive players of all time. You have Michael Jordan. Do you guys not realize that Michael Jordan won Defensive Player of the Year the same year he averaged 35 points a game?
Listen.
Can you think of that? No, just think about that. Just think about that. In 1988, he averaged 35 points a game while winning Defensive Player of the Year. Can you fathom that? And then no, I'm not done. I'm not done. Let me finish. I'm not done. Let's look at this question. Let's read the question. Let's read it out loud, everyone. It says, which all-time team wins a 7-game series? Okay? 7 games. So that's a playoff series. 7 games, correct? Now let's look at the Orlando Magic, okay? Let's think about this. We have Tracy McGrady. Okay? When was the first time Tracy McGrady won a playoff series that equals 7 games? That's a 7 games. When was the first time that Tracy McGrady won a 7-game series in his career?
The last playoff series of his career with the San Antonio Spurs. Move on to your point.
How old was he? He was 30. He was 36. 30. He was out of his prime. He was on the bench. Okay. Grant Hill. When was the first time he won a 7-game series? Do you know? I don't know. Do you know?
It was probably with Phoenix.
It was with the Phoenix Suns. Yeah. Was he the best player on the team?
Nah, Steve Nash.
Okay.
And Amari and all that good stuff.
Yep.
That was after the injuries.
Penny Hardaway. How many 7-game series did he win? Did he just make it to the finals that one year with Shaq on the team?
Then he did make it to the finals.
After Shaq left, how many 7-game series did he win?
Bro, I'm confused as to your continue. Just continue.
My point is, in a 7-game series, you have 3 players who didn't ever win a 7-game series as the star player, you have one player who was successful in 7 game series. You got Shaq, okay, and you have Dwight Howard who made it to the finals once.
He's won 7 game
Going up,
series, though.
going up against the greatest, arguably the greatest playoff player of all time. He's 6-0 in the NBA Finals. Scottie Pippen is 6-0
Greatest
in the
finals
NBA
players.
Finals.
Playoff players.
Dennis
When Scotty
Rodman.
was the main guy, the Bulls didn't do anything. I'm confused as to your point. The 3 Bulls played together. They did. You just picked out 3 people who were by themselves leading the team.
Yeah, and they didn't have any success in a 7 game series. So why do we
Right.
expect players that never had success in a 7 game series to beat players that prove to the world that they can dominate 7 game series?
Because they're playing together. It's the team. It's not the individual people. You use the
So they're
rings
not.
argument in the
Are
group
they? Are
chat,
they not
and
on
now
it? Are they not on a team?
they are on a team facing this team. You trying to take this team and isolate them. This goes together. This is
No,
a 7 game series
I don't-
against the other team, sir. You're
I don't-
using
why
individual
would I-
accomplishments
why would
to
I want-
argue
why
against
would-
the team.
Why would I want a team full of players who are not successful in a 7 game series? I don't care who the teammates are, but they were never able to win a 7 game series.
But with that talent around them, you don't think they would really come
They
on now.
They couldn't beat a well experienced team in 7 game series. No.
You're
That
talking about
have-
3 people that played together for what, 4 years? Because Robin wasn't there the whole time. So I mean, I understand what you're trying to do, but it doesn't work that way,
It
Josh.
does
You
work
can't
that
bring
way.
up
How can
those.
you?
It does
How can
not.
you? How can you look at this team and think, even though
Because
they
we're
never
not talking
even
about individual accolades. We're talking about this team as a unit with their combined skills, pound for pound, who's the better team and who could win. We're not talking about past 7 game series win, championships, first round, undefeated block. We ain't talking about that BS. We're talking about who is the more talented team. Who is the team that is more capable of winning that series? We're not talking about playoff success in the past, because obviously these aren't current teams or teams that you can. It don't matter. It's a fallacy. Your argument is a fallacy,
it's not
sir.
it's not a fallacy. It's not. Because
Yes, it is.
you can't. First of all, you can't trump Michael Jordan. You can't trump
Listen,
Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen in a series.
We've never seen Michael Jordan go up against a team like this.
Okay,
We've just never seen it.
but
Also,
does Michael
Jordan
Jordan team not have talent?
Second penny.
Does
With
Say it
Scottie.
again.
does Michael Jordan's team not have talent?
Does
It does.
Shaquille O'Neal not have
Is Derrick Rose that inferior to Penny Hardaway? Is Jimmy
Is
Butler
Derrick Rose playing
that much
defense
inferior
on Penny
to Grant Hill?
Yeah. A
No,
prime
he
Grant
is
Hill?
not.
A prime Grant Hill,
Oh
dude?
no, he is not.
Have you
I can't
ever
believe
seen
you
a
really
prime
hyping up
Grant Hill?
Jimmy like this.
Jimmy?
Have you ever seen a prime Grant Hill?
He's not that far inferior than Grant Hill.
Oh my God.
My goodness. My goodness. Listen, I understand. Look, I appreciate you for digging your feet down in the dirt. I really do. But I'm just not seeing this Bulls team winning a 7-game series.
I don't see how you
I'm not
cannot
saying-
see.
I'm
this
not saying it's
team-
going to be 4-0. I'm not saying they're going to blow them out every game. But when it comes down to who is getting the trophy, this Orlando team is getting it.
No, they're not.
And also, you
Tracy
better-
McGrady
look,
never won a 7-game series. How
It
is
doesn't
that
matter.
not a factor? How?
What we talking about? We not talking about based off of their past experience. Who's the better playoff?
Then what are we
We're
talking?
talking about
If we can't look
skills.
at these players and think about the entire picture, then how can you just base it off talent? It's
Because you're
silly.
not doing it. Even your argument is not the entire picture. Your argument is individual success versus the team.
Exactly.
No.
Look, Josh,
My
shut up. No,
argument
shut up.
is
Shut up.
success with a team in a 7-game series. That is not. I'm not saying with
Bro,
versus this
'cause
specific
look,
team. I'm talking about in their careers, they were never successful in a 7-game
Oh my
series.
god.
So why would they be successful in a 7-game series versus
Oh my
some of the
god.
greatest in a 7-game
it's not
series?
about that, bro.
It
And
definitely is about that. That's what it
all-time
comes
teams
down to.
have
It comes
nothing.
down to that, and it comes
No,
down to
no,
Michael
no.
Jordan, the GOAT.
All-time teams have nothing to do with individual success. If the 2K teams pick all-time lineups based off of that, Jerry West wouldn't be on the all-time Lakers. So, like, you don't sit there and pick through players' individual accolades.
Why wouldn't Jerry West be on the all-time Lakers? What are you talking about?
Because he lost too many times.
If we want to bring up losses and playoff experiences, da 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 da. So no, that's not what factors into it.
Yeah, you lost me with the Jerry West comparison. I don't know what you're talking about now.
You know how many times Jerry West lost in the finals?
How many times did he lose in the finals?
We gonna look it up. Hold on.
Every
Give
time?
me a second.
Right?
Yeah,
First-
pretty much every time.
But did he make it to the finals?
Okay,
That he did,
you try
but he
to put
lost.
playoff success for losses in the playoffs or the finals. That doesn't matter.
That does matter. How is it not? How do you look at these two teams and not factor in their success in a 7-game series when the question is a 7-game series?
Everyone but you believes you're wrong. So I applaud you for sticking to it.
No.
But you're wrong.
I have several people that agree that Michael Jordan Michael Jordan alone is enough to give this to the Bulls.
Listen, Jerry West is 1-8 in the NBA Finals.
Well, that means he's won probably 30 some odd more series than Tracy McGrady and Grant Hill put together.
Wait, calm down, because the playoff format was different also. 4-game series is a fairly new phenomenon. Or a 7-game series, sorry.
I don't understand how do you not factor. And we can even go. You can go down to an individual aspect of this. The only edge that you have, okay, you got Grant Hill and Shaq. That's the only true edge that you have. Derrick Rose and Penny Hardaway are even. Jordan is the GOAT. Pippen and I really got Pippen over Dwight Howard. How do you not have Pippen over Dwight Howard?
What is your reasoning for Derrick Rose and Penny Hardaway? Because as far as I know, Derrick Rose ain't play defense like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't understand how you're saying Derrick Rose and Penny are even. Please fill me in. What am I missing?
Derrick Rose won MVP.
Okay, besides, if you don't factor in the MVP, what can you say that puts him on the same level as Penny Hardaway? Aside from speed and athleticism.
What can you say that? If Penny Hardaway has never won MVP, how you put him on the same level as Derrick Rose?
I'm done. We're moving on. I'm done.
The time
has Penny Hardaway ever averaged 30 points a game?
Penny wasn't the star on his team. Okay, I will give you that.
Okay.
MVPs also
was Penny
come down.
Hardaway ever the star of his team?
Hey! I wasn't finished. Penny Hardaway is also 6'7". All right, so that's a post advantage. 1, 2. MVPs are also dictated by the competition of the time period. So if we're talking MVPs, Penny Hardaway is not going to win MVP while Michael Jordan is in the league, while Hakeem Olajuwon is in the league. So I'm not understanding that argument.
We never got to truly see either one of their primes.
Okay, but based off of the sample we did see, his argument just ended that. That just deaded that conversation.
How?
Because Penny was playing at the same time as Hakeem and Jordan. There were several people that could be an MVP. Derrick Rose's only direct competition was LeBron James, and they didn't give it to LeBron because you can't give it to him every year.
What?
So you can't sit there and try to compare apples to oranges MVP. No, because Penny people that were in that MVP conversation,
Okay,
as well as Jordan being in that conversation.
that's fair. Okay, I give that to you guys. But I still, Penny Hardaway is not that much of an edge over Derrick Rose.
I definitely believe he is when it comes to
Scoring
playing
ability.
defense.
I really.
When it comes to playing defense, he is.
Why is it? Why?
A 6'8" point guard that could rebound, assist out of his mind, and he could score too. He wasn't a pure point guard. All he did was pass. No, my man could clamp, he could shoot, he could rebound, and he had dimes. What are you saying?
And Derrick Rose couldn't play defense.
He definitely ain't playing on the same level. Stop it. What defensive accolades did D Rose have?
I didn't know. I didn't say it was on the same level as Penny Hardaway, but I'm saying Derrick Rose couldn't get to a spot at any time, couldn't drive on anybody.
When you got Penny Hardaway and you got Dwight in Orlando.
Why y'all putting Derrick Rose down so bad? Like he's just that bad.
Because Derrick Rose is an interior player.
I said, aside from his athleticism and speed, what advantage does he have?
He's
you
not,
just made my point.
He's not inferior.
He is inferior. In his game, right? Derrick Rose's game is I'm driving to the cup and maybe I'll make a miraculous layup or dunk. Right? So you got you gotta get through Penny.
He did it for an entire series.
First you gotta get through Penny, then you gotta get through Dwight and Shaq. It's not happening.
And then no, I don't. We're just not. We're gonna have to agree to disagree because if I see you can give a slight edge to Penny, you can give a slight edge to Grant Hill, you give a huge edge. I don't care who you are, you're giving a huge edge to Michael Jordan, and you're giving a slight edge to Scottie Pippen,
and a huge edge to Shaq.
I'm going with the Bulls, man.
You literally, what you just said on the slight edges and huge edges, Orlando just won that.
I guess.
Exactly. What is you saying, bro? You be proving yourself wrong and still be holding your point. How does that work?
That's because I really wouldn't give a slight edge to.
It's because you're wrong.
Derrick Rose or Grant Hill. Grant Hill, y'all are really hyping up Grant Hill and Penny Hardaway.
I think you hyping up Derrick Rose.
I think you really slighting Penny Hardaway like he wasn't cold.
Yeah, he was cold, but he still always had Shaq on his team, and when Shaq was not on his team, he sucked.
Because when Shaq wasn't on his team is when the injuries started coming. Still a good player, and that's when the injuries started piling up, just like Derrick Rose had injuries piling up.
But Derrick Rose always just had Derrick Rose and was still the best player on his team.
True. So we gonna say that?
So Derrick Rose had a player equivalent to Shaq.
I'm not saying that, but
so Derrick Rose always just had Derrick Rose. I didn't say Shaq. I didn't say Penny Hardaway had other good players other than Shaq on his team. I didn't say he didn't have that. I said Penny Hardaway always had Shaq when he was good. Derrick Rose never had Shaq when he was good. And he was still good.
What is that? What point does that prove?
That proves that Derrick Rose is being slighted to just say that he's just nowhere near Penny Hardaway.
I never said he was nowhere near Penny Hardaway. Before we had this debate live, I said that Penny's got the slight edge. I didn't say that he was head and shoulders above Derrick, none of that. I said Derrick is cold, but Penny got the edge to me on that one, slightly. So I'm not acting like Derrick is a scrub or he ain't even close, but you're not finna act like Penny wasn't a better player. He had more value as far as his game is concerned.
I don't know.
I would say more potential just because of how well-rounded. It just never got to work out.
I don't know.
The reason that we never got to see Derrick Rose full potential. And Grant Hill. And Tracy McGrady. So, shoot, even Dwight Howard. Like, that's part of the only thing that hurts Orlando. You want to bring up individual things, and half of that is because 4 out of the 5 players got screwed over by injuries and ended up being shells of themselves halfway through their career.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 players barely could win playoff series. And then you also have the GOAT.
Listen, I do understand Michael is the GOAT. I do understand that. But listen, Michael's never faced a team of this caliber.
But he has a team of nearly equal caliber. He would
But
win.
Michael wasn't that type of player. Yes, Michael got some assists. He knew when to give somebody else the last second shot. But if you go back and watch the old Bulls games, Michael ISO'd every game, every play.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
Michael averaged, what was it, 5 to 6 assists a game?
That don't mean he didn't ISO.
Okay,
Russell Westbrook averages 10 assists a game and he ISO. So what are you saying?
I understand, but it
You
wasn't.
can't put assist averages and say people don't majority ISO. Kobe averaged 5 or 6 assists, did he not? ISO player.
Y'all break it. Y'all really
double digits. ISO player.
You're tricking me out of the point. The point is you got Jordan. Whether he ISOing or not, you still got Jordan. You still
Jordan took losses in his career.
You still got
Jordan took losses in his career, not in the finals. This didn't even say the finals. This said a 7-game series. We don't know if this is the first round or not.
Okay, but he's got more wins than losses.
But he's got losses. You're making it seem like it's impossible for him to lose. Jordan can lose.
But
lost to Shaq and Penny. So
Tracy McGrady always lost.
Okay, Jordan lost to Shaq and Penny. So what's your point?
Jordan didn't.
Jordan didn't what?
Are you really gonna count? Are we counting the comeback year? Are we gonna count that? That's what
Did he lose or not? Did he lose or not? Yes or no?
What happened the next year? What happened the next year? Exactly.
I didn't say that didn't happen. I just said he lost to them. Either way, I'm not wrong.
But just like it's possible for Jordan to lose.
That's not fair to
Neither
compare
is you
that.
Comparing final success and playoff success when you had a 72-10.
It's not even just the final success; it's playoff success.
You got a 65+ win team every year.
Playoff series. Grant Hill never won a playoff series.
Okay, nobody on the Magic had a team that won over 60 games every year, basically. So, no, you can't sit here and try to compare a team that was the greatest team every single year and try to talk about their playoff success compared to somebody else that didn't nearly have that team or system or coach. So that's why you can't bring that stuff up. It's circumstantial.
That's the Bulls, man. Because another thing y'all really don't think about, who's going to guard Scottie Pippen?
Oh, my goodness. Listen, that's if Scottie is doing his thing.
That's really a huge edge. It's really a huge edge to Scottie Pippen.
I don't know that it's a huge edge.
It's definitely a huge edge. Where would you rank Scottie Pippen in an all-time list, and where would you rank Dwight Howard? Thank you.
It works both ways.
No,
it works both ways. Scottie is going to listen. Scottie is going to get some steals off Dwight. It's going to happen. He's not shutting Dwight down the whole game.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. Do you know lobs come into play here? He's not shutting Dwight down the whole game.
Bro, Dwight Howard.
Penny Hardaway is distributing lobs to Dwight and to Shaq. I'm not saying it's happening every play. But he's not finna shut him down the whole game. He's not finna shut him down for a whole 7-game series.
Probably wouldn't score on Scottie Pippen.
Oh my God.
Scottie Pippen.
Stop. No NBA player is ever getting held to 0. Come on now.
I mean, obviously I'm being sarcastic, but.
All right then. So what are you saying?
Scottie Pippen would shut down Dwight Howard.
The only thing that should be shut is your mouth right now. We moving on.
Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. I can't believe y'all really think that these players who couldn't stay healthy, couldn't win 7-game
Look
series.
At you talking on that BS you talking.
Couldn't win 7-game series would beat these players on the Bulls that won several 7-game series. That doesn't make sense.
It's just not working.
Talk Sports Podcast. We not doing this, bro. We moving on, bro. You tripping. You drunk.
I'm not tripping.
I just don't understand. I don't like one because you started off with a rings argument in our group chat, and I really don't like that argument. That argument to me has nothing to do with nothing.
Well, I mean, yeah, they do have 17 plus ring, or not 17, but
What?
There's a lot of rings on the team on the left, and
I really don't like that argument.
there's
I
four on the
don't
team on
like
the right.
this playoff win argument either.
How is that not a valid argument?
Because of this team. It's team versus this team, bro. This is not about the rest of their careers. This is primes. All right, this is prime talents versus prime talents.
And 3 of the players that were on that team won 3 rings. So more than half of the team won 3 rings together. How is that not a factor?
Bro, if you just from a talent perspective know nothing about their talent, prime for prime, you put these guys on that side, those guys on that side, none of that matters. Based off the talent, I'm putting y'all together. I'm not basing this off of your careers. I'm not basing this off of your accolades. You're averaging 30 while getting DPOY. I'm not basing it off none of that. I'm basing it off skill. Your offensive skill. Your whatever skills that you attribute and putting you on this team and seeing who is the better team in a 7-game series. I'm not bringing up who did what when they had the triangle offense and one of the greatest coaches of all time. I'm not bringing that up because that don't have nothing to do with nothing.
I like your Scotty argument better than I like.
The Scotty argument is the only argument you may have that's pulling up. Who is
the series argument is a good argument. You guys
it is not a fallacy.
It's a very good argument. That's not a fallacy. And then you have the argument. I have 3 good arguments. I have the fact that I have Michael Jordan. I have the fact that Scottie Pippen will dominate Dwight Howard offensively and defensively. And the only really good argument that you guys have is that Shaquille O'Neal would dominate Dennis Rodman. That's the only really good argument that you got. And I've noticed I haven't said anything about Shaq. But other than that, that's all y'all. That's the only really big edge that you got. I got Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. 1A, 1B.
So Petty Betty of the week is who?
Yeah, who Petty Betty of the week?
Yeah, we done with this. This is big BS. Petty Betty of the week is the NBA front offices. If you didn't know, J.R. Smith has a Supreme tattoo on his right calf, I believe, and the NBA is saying that if he doesn't cover it up, he will be fined. Mind you, in the past, the NBA said that you were not allowed to wear the Supreme arm sleeves and all of that junk. But now you're going to find a man for something that's inked on his body that he chose to put there. So I have a problem with that because I don't feel like you can tell somebody that they have to cover up their tattoos. It's not like it's something offensive. It's not like it's something that's hateful. It's a Supreme logo. And because you don't want that branding out there, you want him to cover up his tattoo.
It is stupid. I don't understand.
To me, that's not at all.
It was a little petty for him to get a tattoo, but at the same time, it's his body. It's just a tattoo. Like people have plenty of tattoos that probably have much worse things that they have written on them. You just can't see it.
Yeah, to me it's unreasonable to have somebody cover the tattoo, or you'll find them. And then you also have to remember you're not the NFL. Look at how much you pay your players, even the scrubs. You think they really care about a fine? Stop it. To me, Donkey of the Day and Petty Betty of the Week goes to the NBA front office for even thinking that would be a plausible resolving matter or something. Stop it. JR is still going to rock that tattoo regardless. And last time I checked, JR does wear leg sleeves anyway, so it likely would have been covered up at some point anyway. But now that you've drawn attention to it and say he has to cover it up, he probably won't cover it up.
That's a good point.
So, Donkey of the Day, Petty Betty of the Week, the NBA.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Along with Josh Tyler. Moving on.
I'll take it, man. I'm standing strong. All my old heads agree with me, so I appreciate it.
The only argument I have is that Jordan is the GOAT, and that's something everybody would say. So there's not anything profound. But all right, you got it.
And Scottie Pippen.
No, you got it, cuz. You got it.
I know I got it.
I'll let you have it.
All right. Let's go ahead and wind down.
Yeah, just cross-reference, by the way. JR full-length leg sleeves that meet his socks and leave about 1/4 of an inch of his skin exposed. So there was no point in saying this, but go ahead.
Wait, what happened?
As far as the whole cover up the tattoo thing, JR always basically worn leg sleeves that are just long enough to almost meet his socks. Okay. Cover it up regardless, most likely.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You speaking or shouting today, Rev?
I'm going to calmly say that I apologize to the listeners for the co-host being such a buffoon. I'm sorry you had to sit through that, and now you know what it's like to be best friends with a guy that will argue no matter how wrong he may be. He will fight and fight and fight. So just now y'all know what we deal with, man. Since what, 2011, I've been dealing with this. It don't matter. We could be talking about if the sky is blue. It's been the same for several years. So I'm shouting to the world, this is what we deal with, man. This man Josh is a clown. And I'm sorry y'all had to deal with it.
All right. AP, you speaking the show today?
I'm just gonna speak. One, as usual, that Ray Allen corner shot still hurts. Deep in my heart. I got a championship banner, Spurs championship banner in my room, and I just can't help but feel like one more date should have been on there. And then my real speaking, I'm just gonna say, I really hope my Spurs prove everybody wrong this year. I'm not gonna lie though, I am scared because I watched the first preseason game and DeMar DeRozan. Granted, it's preseason, but DeMar DeRozan was looking lost in the mug. Like, the man didn't know where he was supposed to be on offense or on defense. They wasn't getting him the ball on offense. Like, Rudy Gay thought it was his time to shine because Kawhi gone. I just hope Greg reins them all in and we show the world what we made of this year, because we really getting counted out by all the analysts and all the professionals, and I don't really appreciate that.
All right. So, your expectations are low for DeMar DeRozan?
I wouldn't say they're low. They're not low. I'm admittedly nervous this season.
Yeah. But you think they'll be better than the Nuggets and the Lakers. All right. So I am going to be speaking, and I just want to say that it was a pleasure debating with you guys. I have fun, I love debating, as you can tell. It's always better when you win, and of course I won.
You didn't win, so it doesn't matter.
Shout out to all my old heads who obviously agree with me that the Bulls will win, because these youngins just don't know.
Argue and you won.
Listen, I didn't talk during your speaker and shouting. Could you please refrain from talking during mine? I'm gone. So appreciate you guys for coming out. For sure, I think I did just lose my co-host. Oh no, he's still here. So yeah. Shout out to the old heads who agree that obviously the Bulls will win. Like I said, these youngsters just don't know the greatness. Just don't know the greatness of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Maybe one day they will soon realize. But it's only so much you can do. But yeah, it was still a pleasure. It was awesome debating with you guys. Appreciate everybody commenting. Whether you agree with me or not, I love you guys. I appreciate you. And we are going to be wrapping this for the weekend. Hopefully we'll be back Monday. There's a chance we won't be back Monday just because we're busy. So appreciate you guys rocking with us. Do you want to send us away, Rev, or are you still...
But before I send you all away, I've just got one more thing to throw in there. It's not about Josh. I'm going to end it on a very positive note. Just like to mention that the preseason has been going on. OKC looks fabulous. This is without Russell, because we have a starting quality point guard coming off of our bench, doing all types of crazy distributing and scoring. So we going to be nice. Don't sleep on us this year. We ain't got Melo in there, and that was part of the log jam in our offense last year. So just be on the lookout, because we got this two-headed monster as far as point guards are concerned, and we might be real nice. And to AP's point about the Spurs, you also have to consider DeMar has been used to doing basically whatever he wants to do, and you don't get to do that in Popovich's system. So it's going to take some time for them, and I feel like that is why people disrespect where they might rank, because likely at best they're 5 or 6, because you still have to adapt to that new system, especially when you're a player that's been a go-to guy doing whatever you want to out there. So other than that, thank y'all for coming out. Can't wait till the NBA gets started because that's when the real fun debates come because we don't debate about the no fun league. Nobody cares. Baseball, the Cardinals aren't in it, so we don't really have time to debate about that. Nobody cares. But NBA, every different game is almost a debate in and of itself. So we'll definitely have more of these matchup debates and stuff like that coming because they're definitely fun and it's nice to get y'all involved with us and interacting with us. On that note, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. We look forward to possibly seeing you Monday. If not, we'll be back Friday. Thanks for coming by.
Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Bye.